Welcome to the Trust Switch Activation, and I am your guide, Cassandra Finch, bringing you into deeper trust and a very simple visualization and practice that you can use to really anchor in and embody on the physical level the level of trust that you actually desire for yourself. Now, what I would like you to do is just get comfortable. So whether that's laying down or sitting, or even maybe going for a walk as you listen, just do not operate any type of heavy machinery, any vehicles while we go through this process, but just make sure you are comfortable. And what I'm going to get you to do is start taking some nice, slow and controlled breaths, just in through the nose, out through the mouth, and just focusing on that breath. The breath releasing any tension in the head as you breathe, releasing any tension in the neck, dropping your shoulders, relaxing your jaw. And just directing that breath down into your heart space. And as you do this, I want you to really connect with the consciousness of the heart. That consciousness being that sense of self-love, that sense of respect, sense of boundaries, healthy connection to your emotions. And as you continue breathing, I want you to notice if there's any little spots around the heart or in the heart to where your heart might have been broken, where your trust might have been betrayed, or anytime you have made a choice that you decided later was wrong for you, where you might have taken that as a failure or made it a story about why you cannot trust yourself. And as you notice those little specks, or maybe you might feel them, just remember you don't have to be visual for this. You might feel those spots in the heart, you might see them, you might hear them, you might even get a weird taste in your mouth if you're one of those who can actually taste different energetics. Regardless of which sense or if all of them are coming through, that is fantastic. And just allowing all those spots to just appear. So now what we're going to do is start clearing these spots out. And we're going to do that by imagining or feeling this beautiful cosmic vacuum that is designed to take away any blocks, any restrictions. And you're going to hook that up to your heart space, just knowing that it's loving and gentle. It's just going to cleanse and purify and remove any of the negative energies, any of those past experiences, any of the emotions that's left over, while the heart will integrate all the wisdom learned from those experiences. So we're removing the negativity of them. We're not removing the wisdom. And as you hook up that cosmic vacuum, to me it just looks like a big tube, and it just goes straight over the heart. Then you're going to turn it on. And as it turns on, it starts to suck up all of those past experiences, all of those perceived failures. All of the emotions around those betrayals, around not being able to trust others or trust yourself, all those times where you might have been gaslighted, all the times where you might have been told to ignore your inner knowing, and just releasing them into the hands of love through this cosmic vacuum to be transmuted through love. And as those pieces are being removed, you start to notice that your heart starts to sparkle. That all those layers of dust and debris are being cleared away to actually showcase the beautiful emerald energy of your heart. And I want you just to feel or visualize the numbers starting to move from 1 to 100. And once those numbers start to get to 100, I see it like a clock beside, kind of like a little digital clock beside the vacuum, and it's just going up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But once that hits 100, that's when the vacuum will disengage. So until then, just keep breathing, keep allowing all of those spots from the heart to move, allowing Divine Source to transmute the past pain into love, harmony, and joy. That remembering that there's learning experiences that occur at every level, and you're integrating that wisdom at the same time. Anytime there's a betrayal, anytime there's a perceived failure, we learn something great about ourselves. We either learn which boundaries we need to instill in the future. We learn levels of behavior that we are unwilling to accept. We also learn that any perceived failure are actually just opportunities to learn and grow. What would you change about your actions? They become a tool of refinement. So there is no failure, just refinement. One thing I love thinking about when it comes to failure is how many times an Olympic athlete will fail. How many times will those athletes actually not make the mark? And this is why they train so much and so intensely, because they're refining a skill. And what you're doing in life is really no different. Between everything that you learn and apply, chances are you will fail the first 10, 15, 100 times. But it's through those perceived failures that you learn how to refine and become more successful, how to really harness that skill for what you're doing in your life. So now that this is at 100, and if you have to wait a little longer, that's okay too. You can just pause this until it gets there. But that cosmic vacuum will disengage. And as it releases, you see your beautiful emerald heart shining. And just take a moment to really feel the amount of love coming from that heart. Now that it's been cleansed and cleared of some of the past factors here that are keeping you from trusting yourself. And now moving into full trust. And in order to move into full trust, what we are going to do here is really just take a look inside the heart. So going into that emerald color, you don't need to know anatomy. You can even just look at it as that beautiful emerald green swirling energy in your chest. But I want you to go into that energy. And as you go into your heart, I would love for you to either visualize or feel something like a switch or a button, something that's just easy for you to press or flick on. And once you can visualize or feel that button or switch in the heart, I want you to turn it into its on position. It could even be the Staples easy button, I don't care. Just turn it on now. And this switch represents your level of self-trust. So once you turn it on, notice how that feels in your body. Notice how you sit differently. Notice your posture. Even notice your facial expression. How has that changed? And as you start to notice what it feels like in your body when your trust is turned on, you will also know if it has gone out. So my reminder to you is at least once a day to check in with this trust switch. And if it's in the off position, turn it on. So if you have a big event coming up, if you have a test coming up, if you have a pitch or anything to do with that sense of trust that you will need, or if you're having a conversation with somebody, regardless of what it is, check in with this beautiful heart switch, make sure it's in the on position, and then go about your day. So just make it a habit, set a reminder to check in every single day. I used to check in with this 6 times a day in the beginning for myself, so just to give you an idea. And until it started staying consistently on, I started dropping the amount of times I actually check in. Now I only check in when there's something big coming, something that's taking me out of my comfort zone. So this is a physical way to embody that trust. But remember, once you have that trust turned on, you need to act from a trusting place. So going all in on your choices and your decisions, keeping promises to yourself, just to name a few. And the more you really ingrain this, the more that trust is going to stay on. Even if things don't make sense, trust your inner voice. So I want you to take a nice deep breath into this place again. Placing your hand over your heart. And I want you to give yourself this permission. I give myself permission to fully trust myself in all my decisions. Nice deep breath. I am learning that mistakes are opportunities to grow. I am learning to trust myself deeper and deeper every single day. Now you can take your hand off, and if you'd like to say those sayings, feel free to do them daily if you like as well. And then just feel that trust rippling through your body. And then when you feel complete, you can just take a moment and just wiggle your fingers, your toes, coming back to center here. And I just want to thank you for taking this journey with me. And I really hope that this very simple but potent visualization can really help you build your confidence and build your sense of trust.